Hello traders, Gary Wagner here, just after 10 o'clock in Honolulu, 4 o'clock in New York. It is Wednesday, August 31st, 2016, and on the last trading day of the month of August, we will see U.S. equities, for the most part, trading lower on the day. First, Dow Jones Industrial Average closing off about 53 points at 18,400. In terms of the net change, about 0.3%. Standard & Poor's about 0.3% drawdown, down 5.5 points at 2169. And the NASDAQ is closing down, but in essence unchanged, only off about a point at 47.75 on the day. Noteworthy, of course, today is crude oil. Crude oil closing off almost 3.5% on the day, currently trading at 44.80. We'll certainly want to take a look at an oil chart and also explore the fact that for the first month in quite some time, we have seen U.S. equities actually not close higher on the month as we enter this last trading day of August 2016. So traders, the first chart that I do want to look at today, I should say the first market that I want to look at today, is crude oil. Crude oil pretty much falling out of bed, down about 3.33%, $1.54 loss per barrel, right now trading at 44.80. As you know, we had this dynamic rally that came in really at the beginning of the month, this being August 1st, taking it up to just shy of $49. It then began to trade in a consolidating manner, meaning a very, very tight trading range for about a week. And then, due to some reports of increased inventory today, we had this market really selling off pretty hard. Now, whether it's end of the month balancing of books, because crude oil is a pretty heavily traded commodity within some of the funds, and the fact is, on record, we had a lot of these funds net long. They could be covering their positions, taking profits. But the key is that as the market has broken, I've added a fib retracement, which basically begins at about $39 up to about $49 per barrel to cover this rally right in here. And here's what's interesting. When we look at this market, we've got the 61% retracement right here that we have clearly broken through. 78 is right here. Our 50% retracement comes in at around $44 a barrel. And then below that is our 38% retracement, which comes in roughly just shy of $43, $42.84. So my sense is that with the market breaking below on a technical basis is 61% retracement area, the next real target that I've got for crude oil, because I think it will head lower, having broken through that 61% retracement, is in terms of the low end of the spectrum, would be this particular mark, 38% at around $43 a barrel. And there's a minor 50% retracement, which occurs at $44 per barrel. Now, traders, as we look at the U.S. dollar, of course, U.S. dollar has been aggressively stronger over the last couple of days, really curtailing any kind of upside move in the precious metals. And as far as crude oil is concerned, and gold, silver, platinum, palladium, the precious metals, all of which are paired in U.S. dollars, we have seen that have an effect on all of those markets. Now, U.S. dollar today is in essence unchanged, a 96.03. Absolutely, it's slightly red, slightly green, but it's absolutely in the unchanged territory. When we look at the market, the real question is, will it find some real resistance here after really having a dynamic move over the last couple of weeks? Or will it kind of just bust through here? My sense is that with the rate hike and the Fed still on the table, we could see the dollar get stronger before it gets weaker. And traders, I want to take a quick look at the U.S. equities. This one vis-a-vis the Standard & Poor's. And today's downside move, although it's not that much, about 0.3%, What concerns me in terms of a big picture, let me go ahead and blow this up so you have an idea, is this is kind of that benchmark line that I've been looking at, which comes in roughly at 2171. And typically we have seen this market trade above and below it, but for the most part, except for this one candle right here, the market has consistently closed above that price point, whether or not the market is traded lower on the day or higher on the day, meaning a green candle or a red candle. Now, today's action is a little bit different because besides this one day that occurred, of course, this being Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, last Friday, besides last Friday, this is the first occurrence of this month in which we've, I should say, since the market has really moved above this particular line. And if you recall, this was our scouting party and this was our beachhead right here. But since that beachhead occurred, this is the first time we've seen the market close lower on the day. It's closing in essence unchanged to lower also on the month. Considering this, our month starts right here. So we will close a little bit higher on the month, but roughly in the same area. This has been Gary Wagner wishing you, as always, good trading. We'll talk to you tomorrow for another daily update and review. Bye-bye.